Okay guys, so with all the excitement associated with the release of the new Synergy SYN 20 IR product, I figured I'd do a quick shootout between the Synergy 6505 module and the 6505-2 reissue amplifier. Let's get started. Well, thanks for joining me for today's episode. This should be pretty quick. So I already kind of sound checked these and dialed them in exactly the same. So you can see how I dialed in the 6505-2 reissue. It's the 666 thing, you know, the pretty common settings that people use. Doesn't mean I'm going to use these settings throughout the whole video, but I just wanted to set them up exactly the same so that I can show you how they either differ or sound exactly the same. Now, obviously, with the, you know, the 6505 reissue by Peavey, you're getting resonance and presence, which you're not getting on the Synergy. You get the, what is that called? The reactance knob. So I just wanted to point that out. So there's no resonance or presence on the SYN 20, but it is what it is. So let's just see how close they are. No boost involved for now. So all the boost Karens can, you know, take a chill pill here for a second. So I'm just going to do a quick, you know, shootout between these two with some stupid riffs and just see, you know, if there's any difference between them. I'll give you a quick description of what I'm experiencing in the room, but I'll let you decide on which one works best for you. So let's get started with some riffs now. So pay attention to this part of the screen. Whatever you see there is the amp that I'm playing. All right, so what I noticed is obviously the 6505 Plus real amplifier is going to be fuller, you know? I mean, you have 6 freaking preamp tubes in there. I know one of them's for the effects loop, but you know what I'm saying. So you have only 2 in the module, so there's a pretty big difference there. You're dealing with all tube gain as opposed to some tube gain mixed with maybe some clipping diodes or whatnot. So you're going to have a different type of gain structure. But I think for the most part, under the circumstances, with what Synergy had to work with on that unit, you know, I should say Peavey and Synergy working together with on that unit, as far as the modules considered, I think it sounds really good. It's definitely reminiscent of the original 6505 or 5150 or God, whatever you guys want to call it. So let's do another riff just to, you know, make sure here. So here we go. Well, again, I think there are some differences between them, but I think it's the tone of the module in the Synergy unit is definitely well within the realms of the same type of tone that you're getting out of the amplifier. You know, it's in the spirit of it anyways. Honestly, I think the Synergy module is a little bit tighter. So now let's introduce a boost pedal. So all the boost Karens can go away now. None of this is for you guys now, you know, so you guys can go fill your diapers full of poop and enjoy that. So I'm going to engage the Mud Killer, and let's see how they compare with that. Okay, once again, some pretty noticeable differences between the two. And I have the, what is that mode? The structure mode is in C, which is the more modern mode. I didn't notice a big difference between them as far as the shootout's considered. So I'm not gonna, go through all that for you guys, but I think they both sounded really good and pretty close to each other. So really, which one do you prefer? I don't know. I mean, that's up to you to decide. So now I'm going to set up the 6505 Plus amplifier and the module the way I prefer it. I'm not a big fan of bumping my mids up this high. So let's just kind of set this up a little differently, and then I'll match my settings on the module and see what we have there. I'll disengage the boost pedal. So I guess the boost Karens can wipe their little tushies from all their poop and come back and watch this segment anyways. So here we go. Let me just dial this in. All right, that works for me, so I'm going to go ahead and make those same adjustments on the Synergy module. So we're at, where are we here? We are at, just bump the mids back a hair, and I think everything else is pretty much the same. I nudged the gain up a little bit. Yeah, so everything else is pretty much the same except for I nudged the gain up a hair, and I brought the mids back a hair. So now let's see what we have between these two. Again, the boost is off. Okay, so same type of difference between them. I think it's in the mids between these, it's whatever's going on with the mids. That's where the biggest difference is. Top end is pretty similar. Low end is, obviously you're gonna have more low end and fullness on the amp, more wattage, so you're gonna get that. But I think the Synergy is holding its own regarding that anyways, at least at this volume setting. It's pretty loud in here, so anyways, yeah, I think they both sound really good. So let's engage the pedal again. I'll do the mud killer, and I'm gonna adjust that, let a little more low end in on the mud killer. I had it low end knob too high. All right, so let's see how they sound with the mud killer, and then I'll do some further, I'll do some further tweaking with the mud killer engaged on the 6505 amp, and then I'll follow suit on the module. Wow, very little tweaking needed to be done there. So I'm going to back the gain off like I did and adjust the lows and then bring the treble back just a hair. Very minor adjustments. So now let's see how they compare with these settings and the boost pedal. Yeah, there's still a pretty big difference between them with the mids. But I still like how they both sound, you know. So it almost sounds like the same amp, but with different settings, if that makes sense. So I think they both sound really good. And I will say this, regarding what I'm hearing in my in-ears, the Synergy unit sounds a little more forward, but I'm looking at my meter and they're exactly the same, you know, as far as decibels go. So if, you know, if that makes, you know, any difference to your, you know, what you're hearing out there, thinking out there, you know, consider that as well. So I'm gonna do, let's just do a quick, no leads, just a rhythm mix real quick and just see how they compare in a short, you know, short mix. Yeah, they both sat slightly different in the mix. Let me do one more experiment here. I'm gonna mess around with the mids. I'm gonna put the mids up a little bit. I'll put them at 3 o'clock on the Synergy and see if that evens things out. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what frequencies are different between the two, but I'm guessing it's the mids. It might be a little bit of the top end as well, but let's just go between them and see if that made any difference at all. Okay, not really. So I think it's just the overall voicing of the module is just slightly different. And again, I think it's the clipping diodes as opposed to the whole, you know, 5 tubes involved in the saturation with the real amp. But again, I think it represents the overall general tone of the 6505 Plus or 2 or 5150 or whatever you want to call it. I think it's a good representation of it. Like I said, I think it sounds like the same amp with just different settings, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think it's worth getting for the Synergy. I mean, it's the closest you're going to get outside of getting the amp itself. So I think they did a really good job with it. So what do you guys think? Are they way off? Are they close? If you have the 6505 module, do you like it? Let me know what your thoughts are, and if you've done any comparisons, what were your results? Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks to Motor City Guitar for allowing me to take all this gear home so I can do these comparisons and demos for you guys. If you like either one of these amps, feel free to use my affiliate link for Motor City Guitar. It's in the description of this video. Just click on that, and they ship anywhere in the continental US, and they ship faster than anybody else. So go ahead and use that link and give them the business, since they were kind enough to let me take this stuff home so I can do these videos for you guys. Well, I hope you were well informed by this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I have more stuff and more comparisons coming up with different amplifiers compared to the Synergy, so stay tuned to the channel for that. And to everyone who's been purchasing all of my preset and profile packs from my website, which is also linked below, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. You really help me out a lot. Well, thanks to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss further upcoming episodes or live streams. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.